it just does the thing. I hit 1, it just does the thing. I mean, this is it, ready? I hit 3, it just does it, which is pretty cool. Hey everyone, my name is Wade, and in this video, I'm gonna be showing you how to hook up this TriCaster control panel to a Blackmagic ATEM 2ME switcher. And this is all possible with a software called Central Control. Now I'm on a 30-day trial of Central Control, so it's definitely super nice to be able to program everything and make sure it works the way you want it to. But I'll say this, I will definitely be purchasing it after my trial's over. And I can't wait to show you what I'm able to do inside Central Control and how it controls this big control surface with the 2ME. Now I know an obvious question here is why wouldn't you just buy like a Blackmagic control surface or like the mini control surface that's like $700? And what if I were to tell you this thing is actually a lot cheaper and it has way more functionality? So I got this control surface for $300 from my buddy Joe, who wasn't using it anymore. Shout out Joe, thank you for selling it to me. And he is the one who actually told me about this Central Control. So in this video, I'm not gonna show you everything you can do with Central Control because I've even barely scratched the surface of it, but I will show you how to set up your preview, your program. I'll even show you how to set up like an ME2 option with all these buttons. And I'll also show you how to do something pretty cool with SuperSource. Now I'm gonna give a shout out to Redbeard Does YouTube channel. He has another video that dives way deeper into the SuperSource stuff, so check that out if you want more info about that. And also Central Control actually has a YouTube channel where they propose tutorials and stuff like that. So if you need to watch any more information about this product, definitely check their page out as well. So let's just dive right into the software so I can show you how I set this all up and why I'm actually really loving this so far. Okay, so as you can see, I've got my ATEM multi-view here and I've got Central Control up on the screen. So once you download it, it just works inside of a web browser. And to add devices, you simply just click add device and then you find whatever devices you can add. So clearly there's a ton of things you can do inside of here, but I was just adding my ATEM device, which is this. And then I was just adding this TriCaster Control Surface, which I just went to Control Surface. And this particular unit is a NewTek 460 CS. So I already added those. And to hook those up, this I kind of struggled with, but then eventually I kind of figured it out by watching some of the videos on Central Control side for the ATEM. So if you click on it, you need to put in the IP address of your ATEM. So my ATEM right now is actually doing DHCP hookup. So let me actually show that to you guys, just in case you get confused by this, because I'm not a big network guy, so sometimes this stuff confuses me. So in this area, I'm in the ATEM setup place, and I have it set to DHCP. So it automatically pulls an IP address. It's good to go there. And then obviously you can either connect it this way, or if you go up to your ATEM control and go to connection, you can go to, see this already set the manual IP. I thought I clicked on this and hit connect, but it's working, so I'm not gonna touch anything. So that's how you get your IP address. You'll see it is right, you'll see what it is right there, and you'll see that it matches what's inside Central Control. So once those are hooked up, you simply just want to toggle it on here. This will be gray for you, you toggle it on. So now you got to hook up the TriCaster Control Surface, and I didn't really explain this part, but this actually just hooks up via USB-A to USB-B cable to your computer. So inside my streaming case below here, I have a Mac Mini that I just plugged it in via USB-C, and then I plugged in USB-B in the back, and that powers it all and controls all this, which is pretty nice. I don't have to like carry around some big beefy power supply. So once that's hooked up, the main thing that I couldn't get to work at first is you got to go over here and you got to select USB serial. So if I actually toggle this off, you'll see there's a couple options. I want to click on USB serial, and then I'm able to toggle it back on. You'll see the TriCaster is lighting up because it's getting ready to go. I love that. All right, so now I'm going to walk you through how to actually configure these two units so they talk to each other. Let's dive in and talk about preview first. So inside of here, you want to go to controls, and you'll see that my preview button's already actually set for input 1. But to do this, it's actually very simple. So if I were to erase this, minus, you go down, you hit set preview, you want to do a mix effect 1 because this is a mix effect 2 switcher. Now you'll see that I have all these other options that I can do, but for my particular switcher, it's just mix effect 1 and mix effect 2. So do that, then you hit the plus sign, boom, it's good to go. And when I click that there, you'll see that it lights up green in preview, and you'll see that it switches up here. So again, it's switching up there in the multi-view, which you can see. Okay. Now, one thing to keep in mind here is if you do something called quick assign, this is actually awesome. You can just go down here, and if you just hit set preview and you hit plus, it will just automatically know to go to like 2, then go to 3, then go to 4. It will automatically do that for you. So I already did that with this, so I'm not going to show you again, but that was super handy. So I actually went down to preview 8, So if you see on my end, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I was talking to someone else about getting some custom buttons for these. So I'm actually going to try to have this say 5, 6, 7, 8. Same with up here. Okay, so that's preview. Program is kind of exactly the same, where if you go down here to program, you'll see that it's the same thing. I had program, I have it set to program input. And what's nice is this is still input 1. So although this has like a zillion inputs right here, and it maybe seems confusing because it goes up to 40 inputs, it knows that program and preview are different. So like on this particular board, this says program, this says preview. It already knew that. I thought for a second that it was going to be like input 15 or something because it was going off like the 15th button. That's not the case. So that's already all set up here. Cool. So here's some other things I did that I thought were useful for my 2ME switcher. I actually set up this row A and B as my ME2. So why I did that is because a lot of times when we're at events, we use ME2 for like the IMAG up on the screen. So like we'll just toggle between ME2 and ME1. And generally speaking, how we do that, it's not super efficient. We'll like open the software here and we'll just go to MixFX2 and we'll click a button and then we'll go back to MixFX1, which again, when things are live, you're just kind of like doing 2 switches, which makes it kind of hard. So now it's like we can just click these buttons for ME2. So if I go to ME2 here, which it's kind of hard to see, but check out the top red button. You see it just switches as I click buttons. So that I think is freaking awesome. And again, I'll do it again here. Just click the buttons. Here's my preview row, which is this right here, and it changes, which I really, really love. So I'm going to go over a couple other functions I've done on this board. Clearly, like I said, I'm just scraping the surface, and I'll probably make a part 2 of this in like 3 or 4 or 5 months once I've actually used this and kind of put it through its paces and like kind of customize it to my setup on a real job. But right now I'm just in my basement, just clicking buttons. So one thing that I did do is I made the stop button a mute button, which I really like. So the stop button controls the TRS or the 1/4 inch inputs inside the 2ME. So if I go over to this button here, this means it's on, which I actually really like to see. And so when I click it, it just turns off over here. So let me show you. So the TRS right there, if I click it, it turned it off. That's what red on, red off, which I think again is not super necessary, but I know if you've used an ATEM switcher and you're just using the control software all the time, you've had those moments where you're like scrambling to get to the audio, even though it's just the little button right there. You're like, oh my gosh, I have to mute it. And you're like, you just are scrambling, right? It's just so nice to have like a physical button to just turn it off. Now, the last thing I want to show you is what I've done inside SuperSource. So let me go back to Control Central here. And what I ended up doing is I ended up making it this key button up here. So key 1 and key 2. So when I click, actually, let me put SuperSource in preview and let me take it. I did configure these buttons to take and auto, so I can, fade and then I can take, right? So this is now inside of SuperSource. And sorry for this super wide DJI action look. This is just the other camera I had and I grabbed it. So now if I have this here, I can click this button and do that, which I think is really cool because a lot of times we have slides here. So we have slides, they're going, whatever, and now it's time to go back to kind of like that full screen image where you have like the speaker and then slides. So yeah, so I just do that, do this, and that's really cool. So let me show you how to set that up inside Central Control, because again, there's a ton of animations you can do like that inside here. All right, so lastly, let me show you how I set up that SuperSource. It starts with the SuperSource animator here. So if I click SuperSource animator, what I did is you can add different presets in here. So to do that, I actually set up this SuperSource first on my ATEM, and then I just hit add preset, and it just automatically knew like this is box 1, this is box 2. Cool. Then the next one I set up was just like slides full screen because I wanted to like make it go full screen. And so I just set SuperSource up as a full screen slide, which seems kind of different. You normally wouldn't do that. You would just probably click 2, but I wanted it to animate. So I set it up as slides full screen. So after that, I just hit add preset again and it did it here. So let me just show you, maybe I'll add a third preset here to make it easy. So let me go to the ATEM control software, go in here, and let's just click like the 4 box, whatever, just so we have it in there. So when I go here, hit SuperSource animator and hit add preset, We're gonna call this 4-box, hit OK. You'll see that it just automatically knows that all 4 of those boxes are there. Great. So now, once you get those set up, I exit out of here. I want to go to controls. And like I said, I set this up for key 1 and key 2. So in key 1, I did set SuperSource preset 1, and I had it be speaker left. And you see here's all your presets here. I did smooth transition. I set the duration to 1,000, so it would be a little bit slower. Next, I did, these 2 options, which again, the Red Beard Does video, he goes into it a little bit more. I just was able to configure some things and it made it work. So I set SuperSource box 2, I want it to be input 2, and then SuperSource box 1, I want it to be input 1. So then when I click 1, it just shifts it all. I don't know if you saw that up there, but it just shifted everything, right? Let's do a replay. So that's pretty cool that it can just take whatever SuperSource you want and it just shifts to that. So then again, for key 2, I just hit a button and it just makes that go full screen. Great again. So now I want to see if I can set this up for key 3 for you, just to show you how it would work. So we would go in here. I want to go to set presource to whatever. I want to go to set SuperSource preset. I'm going to go to full box. I'm going to hit add. And again, I don't know what's about to happen when I hit 3, but let's see what happens. I hit 3, boom, bada boom. Look at that. It just does the thing. I hit 1, it just does the thing. I mean, this is it, ready? I hit 3, it just does it, which is pretty cool. And I hit 2, and it just does that. So I don't even know if you need any of these extra settings that I had, because key 3 clearly just sent off the 4-box. So as you can see, you can do a ton of different stuff with this central control program. And you don't just need this big TriCaster Control Surface, you can use something as simple as a Stream Deck. Again, I'm gonna be making a part 2 probably in 3, 4, 5 months once I've taken this out in the field and I've used it, I've tested it, I've had some other people play with it. So let me know in the comments down below if you've used this product before or if it's something that you're interested in. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and I will see you in the next video.